Hey guys, it's me Cosmic, and today we are going to talk about public fursuiting. Now, public fursuiting is a very fun activity when you're in the right spot. Taking nice photos and or videos and just, enjoying being a fluffy goofball. However, there are certain problems that you need to be prepared for and be careful about. We will start with the basics. Let's start with location. Always choose a remote area and stick together with someone. And before you put on the fursuit, take the time to see the location, scout out the area, and plan things out. How far will it be from the car, for example? Is it isolated or not? And so on. You gotta plan accordingly for it. Because if you don't, you can end up in a situation where you wish you did. Solo suiting is something that I do myself, however, I do not recommend this to everyone. I am lucky enough that I spent half of the year here in Turkey and the other half back in my home, and spent the other half back in England. And here in Turkey, there are a lot of isolated forested areas where not a single soul ever comes. So for me, I'm lucky enough to be able to do this. But even then, you still should be careful. Hence why, although I do solo fursuiting myself, I would not recommend this to everyone, with the exception of if you are lucky enough to also be in a situation like me where there are isolated locations where you can just go, put on your fursuit, take a photo and leave, and nobody will be there to see anything. Now, something that will make things so much easier and safer is group public fursuiting. Now, it goes without saying, but having an extra person or two can be incredibly helpful in many situations, furry or not, and make things more fun as well. Maybe they know the location more than you do, and thus they can help you find a good spot to take a photo or record a video in. Keep an eye out on your stuff, and when you're done public fursuiting, show you where the closest cafe is, so you guys can go and get some drinks and have a nice little chat. Not to mention safety in numbers. We are social creatures. Now, unfortunately, within the masses, there may be at least a handful of dickheads here and there, and having a group is a decent deterrent towards them saying or trying anything. And this is where fur meets come in. Fur meets are something I have already talked about before, so I'll keep it simple. You can think of fur meets as a smaller version of a FurCon, where fur meets are held depends on the group, and finding fur meets can be made easier via social media apps such as Bark and Twitter. And if I remember correctly, Furzu as well, although I would not recommend using Furzu at all. And keep in mind, when I say a handful of dickheads may come in and say something, obviously that's something that will happen eventually. It can happen. But keep in mind, most of the time, most people are just gonna give you a weird look and leave, which is not that bad. Who gives a shit? I don't know about you guys, but I am pretty used to getting weird looks from people, so whatever. You get desensitized to it after a certain while and you don't even notice it. Well, for the most part, I will say this. A lot of people that have come up to me while I was public fursuiting solo and or just, fursuiting in a public spot where it wasn't as isolated as I thought it was, the very few instances where people came up to me and asked, I usually would say something along the lines of, oh, this is my mascot for my YouTube channel, or this is my mascot for social media. And after that, the conversation goes from the fursuit to social media and like YouTubing and so on. The conversation goes to that rather than the furry, helping me avoid having to explain what the hell a furry is and what a fursuit is, which has been actually pretty helpful. And most of the time, people that come up to you, they will try and match your energy for the most part. So As long as you're not being too shy, too nervous, and you're not crumbling, then, they're going to be pretty chill about it as well. Even if you have to, put on a mask of confidence if you have to. That will be helpful enough. Because if you do act very shameful about it, it will automatically make them think, wait, if he is being this shy and shameful about it, then that means it must be something bad and, I don't know, shameful, and so on. So just match the energy, And there are a lot of stories of unfortunate public fursuiters getting their tails literally yanked off from the fursuit. Which, I'm just saying this right now, if any of you fuckers try that with me, I am going to crack your skull open like an egg. I'm not even joking, amigo. Don't try that shit with me, bendejo. This is going to be about it for the video. There's not much else really that needs to be said. But I do have a separate news. If you're interested, hear me out. So, I'm gonna have to not post for an entire week after this video has been published because I am gonna go on my exams. I am working, and slowly but surely I will make it happen. I will achieve my dream of becoming a biologist on an official level. Probably ecology or zoology. Ecology would be nicer, but I wouldn't say no to zoology either, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm studying for those. For an entire week, I won't be able to post. I do have my exams coming in 2 days. And if I make any TikTok videos, which I most likely will, because TikTok videos last 15 seconds at most, I can post those to the shorts, but an actual video that isn't a short, yeah, that's going to take at least a week for me to start making those again. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful in some way, and I will see you again later, some other time. Goodbye.